Welcome to the Vegas Insider channel here on YouTube. Kevin Rogers and Holden Kushner with you. Now it's time for our Week 8 NFL contest picks. Last week we went 3-2. Holden went 2-0. He had the Steelers and the Packers both winning. I went 1-1. The Chargers, never in doubt, against Jacksonville. Lost with Seattle. And our consensus pick was a big-time loser. It was the Patriots against San Francisco. That one wasn't even close, even from the opening kickoff. So we move on to Week 8 of the NFL, and each of us with 2 selections each, and then we'll have a consensus pick at the end. So, Holden, I'll begin with you and your first pick for Sunday.
I just go to the Steelers every week. I just think that they are not getting enough love from Vegas. So let's go to this. Steelers +4 over the Ravens. I asked a friend, I said, text me when this line comes out so we can get in on it. He got in at 6. I got in at 5. I slept in too late that night. I love that. And you know what? Now that it bounced back up to 4, I like it too. They're a terrific defense. They shut down Jackson last year to 161 yards passing, 70 rushing, and then 3 interceptions. Their defense is just spectacular. Good luck running on them if your name is not Lamar Jackson. They have a 30% stuff rate. That means they hit the running back at the line of scrimmage or behind it. Just amazing. The Ravens are coming off the bye, though. That's something to keep in your mind. But Lamar Jackson, here's the big thing with me, Lamar Jackson. He's just not been accurate on his deep balls. 20-plus yards, 23.8% completion rate, down from 35.6. You know I love the Steelers, and I didn't even get to their offense. Steelers +4 this week.
All right, so Holden go with the Steelers again after they beat the Titans last week. They got Baltimore this week. For my first pick in the contest, I'm going to look at the team that the Steelers beat last week, the Tennessee Titans, as they head to Cincinnati. I know this is a bit of a chalky play, potentially, that the Titans laying 5.5 here on the road. And the Bengals, they almost beat the Browns last week, but Baker Mayfield had that late touchdown pass and helped the Browns win. Now, Cincinnati has covered their last 2 as a dog, both in losses. They played well in the first half against the Colts, but then fell apart in the second half. They went back and forth with Cleveland last week, still managed to cover. The Browns missed the extra point to get the cover in that one. But I think this is the one where Cincinnati regresses. Now, let's take a look at the quarterback play the last few weeks for the Bengals, or who they faced. Baker Mayfield, slow start, lit him up. Phillip Rivers lit him up. Even Gardner Minshew a few weeks ago for Jacksonville lit him up. Now you get Ryan Tannehill coming in, and the Titans off a tough game against Tennessee, or against Pittsburgh, rather, that they fell in the big hole early. They came back, had the opportunity to tie it late, and they missed the field goal to tie it. They're coming off 3 straight home games. So now they get out of town for a week, which I think is a good thing. I know Tennessee has been a tough team to back against the spread this season, but I think the Titans here, they play better. I just can't back the Bengals once again after all these close games they've lost. I think this is one the Titans maybe win by 7 or 10. I'm going to back Tennessee here to cover on the road against Cincinnati. Holden, your second best bet.
Hey, I know we're only picking sides for this, but I love the over in that too. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals throw more than anybody else, and the Titans offense coming in against these guys, that's going to be a fun game. I will take the Chiefs over the Jets. Yes, I will eat the 19.5 points. Now, the Chiefs offense to me has been a bit inconsistent this year. And you look at Mahomes, he's got 3 games where he's gone off and 3 games where he's been pedestrian, but he gets Adam Gase and the Jets. I mean, this is just a mismatch everywhere, from coaching to the offenses, to the defenses, to the special teams. I'm not going to get too deep into this. I just feel like Kansas City has a chance to erupt this week. Get the ball to Le'Veon Bell, too. Defensively, they're one of the better teams in the National Football League. They really are. Sam Darnold's in a lot of trouble without any really good weapons. Kansas City to absolutely roll.
So Holden's taking the Chiefs over the Jets. The Jets covered last week against the Bills. We'll see if they can hang around again, but it's a tough task, obviously, going to Arrowhead. For my second best bet this week, I'm going with another favorite, but I'm fading a rookie quarterback here. I'm going to take the Rams. They are going to Miami to take on the Dolphins, and Tua Tagovailoa making his debut for Miami. His first start, I shouldn't say debut because he threw a couple passes against the Jets before the bye week, so he is making his first NFL start here. The 2 quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round alongside Tua Tagovailoa in the top 10 lost their debut. Joe Burrow to the Chargers and also Justin Herbert to the Chiefs. Now, granted, Herbert covered in that game against Kansas City in overtime. But getting a Rams team, I understand they played Monday night. They got to go cross country. But under Sean McVay, they have been terrific on the East Coast. They've already won at Philadelphia. They won at Washington. We know they swept the NFC East. So you say, okay, well, the NFC East is terrible. But going out to the East Coast is not an issue for this Rams team. And also, if they can take the lead at halftime, they're automatic to win in the second half. I'm just not ready to back Tua here. He's going to be fantastic for the Dolphins down the road. But right now, maybe asking a lot. This team was playing well with Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback, and then they pull the plug going into the bye week. I kind of wonder how they're going to fare now moving forward with a rookie. So I'm going to take the Rams here over the Dolphins to cover as a road favorite. Now let's take a look at our consensus pick, which has been, to say the least, a bit shaky this season, but we are going to bounce back big time because both of us are on the same page. You know, consensus means you're on the same page, but this one, Holden and I both like this one. And we're going to take the Denver Broncos getting the points against the LA Chargers. And Holden, you give me your views on why you like the Broncos.
Yeah, and well, I know what your view is going to be, Anthony Lynn, right? And I actually took that into account a little bit. It's like this team just is not coached up. But I like the Broncos defensively is what I think keeps this game closer. It's going to be beautiful here in Denver, nice and sunny, 50, 60 degrees. Pass defense is 9th in DVOA. Justin Herbert has been remarkable, but coming up here and going up against this defense is not going to be easy. You've got Chubb and Reed on the outside pressuring the quarterback, Bryce Callahan and A.J. Bouye in the secondary. I just think that the defense is going to keep this game really close. Even if the Chargers win, at the most they win by a field goal.
Now, my view on this, Holden, is with Denver, first of all, it seems like that home field advantage has gone away a little bit, that they struggled last year at home early. They came back late. They're 0-3 at home this year. Who have they lost to? Tennessee, who's 5-1, Tampa Bay, who's 5-2, and Kansas City, who's the Super Bowl champion. So they've lost to 3 excellent teams at home so far. And now you're getting the Chargers, who this game opened up around a pick 'em, and LA is up to 3 now, and that's fine. And the Chargers have played well with Herbert, like you mentioned, and they're coming off the win over Jacksonville. I'll give you this one. Teams, after playing Jacksonville this year, 1-4 against the spread.
What?
So exactly. So after you beat Jacksonville, I mean, for the most, I should say beat, because Indianapolis, we don't count them from week 1 because they lost to them. They're 1-4 ATS. So it seems like, oh, you feel good about yourself after beating Jacksonville, and then all of a sudden you lose. And the only team that won, or that covered, I should say, during this stretch is Detroit with their victory over Atlanta last week. And that was a team that should have lost that game if it wasn't for the Falcons botching that up at the end. So just saying that it's tough for these teams to cover the next week. And for the Chargers, yes, Justin Herbert has played well in his time taking over for Tyrod Taylor. Denver swept LA last season. I just think the Broncos finally break through at home.
Yeah, it's a one-dimensional offense there for the Chargers too, and I hope that Phillip Lindsay plays. But that's a hilarious stat that you came up with. It's almost like you beat Jacksonville, but they leave some slime on you, and you can't get the slime off the next week, and it just slows you down. What a terrific stat that was. We're both on Denver here, Denver to cover. Even though Vic Fangio says we got to completely fix our passing game, that's fine. Good luck, Chargers, going up there. And I just think it's going to be a close division game.
Yeah, and again, I go to perception. That the perception is LA is turned the corner now. And look, they played well against Tampa Bay and New Orleans and Kansas City, but the fact of the matter is they lost all those games. So, and the only, Herbert has beaten Jacksonville. So, you say to yourself, I don't know. I just look at it that this is a tough spot here. And I think Denver plays well after losing to Kansas City last week, in which they gave up 2 non-offensive touchdowns. You have a kickoff return and a defensive touchdown. So I think that the Broncos bounce back. Okay, with all that being said, let's recap our picks for Week 8 in the NFL. Holden is taking Pittsburgh. Also, he's taking Kansas City. He's taking the Steelers against the Ravens and the Chiefs at home against the Jets. I have Tennessee on the road at Cincinnati and the Rams against the Dolphins. And our consensus selection, Denver at home against the LA Chargers. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Vegas Insider. For Holden Kushner, I'm Kevin Rogers. Thanks for watching, and best of luck with your bets.